Aloha! Oh my goodness. Happy New Year. 2025. I cannot believe it. We're in 2025 on the Real Trash Podcast, and welcome back to the Real Trash Podcast. And I'm so excited. Hi, my name is Noah James. Aloha. Welcome to my Real Trash Podcast. If you haven't been here before, welcome to the Real Trash Podcast, where we talk about trashy subjects from politics. We talk about trashy subjects from Disney news to celebrity news. And then we talk about my life and how my life has been through the week. So sometimes I like to give an update. Usually I'd like to give an update on how my week has been. That's usually what we talk about through my life. Just like a little therapy session. And I would like to thank you so much for all of my Real Trash Podcast followers that watch my episodes, review it, and thank you so much for being here on another year. On my Real Trash Podcast this year and watching my YouTube videos too. I'm so thankful to everybody and grateful for being watching my YouTube videos, my YouTube reels, and I thank you so much for following me along on this journey. And it's been such a special one on this podcast now called the Real Trash Podcast. And the biggest topic I talk about on this podcast every time, and I want people to know, yes, is disability. And that is the biggest topic I like to talk about it because I do have disabilities. Hi, I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm a native from Hawaii. I don't live there anymore, but I live in a different state now. So I get to spread the Hawaiianness where I live in a different state now. But also, I would like to tell you guys that yes, I am in Honolulu, Hawaii, and yes, I have disabilities. I was born in 1998 with a hearing loss through my I was born with a C-section from my mother, and she found that I was hard of hearing. So I've had to deal with it through my whole life, the 26 years of my life that I've been here on Earth. And yeah, so that's been a exciting adventure, crazy adventure, not having the same hearing as everybody else, but I've had to adapt to a sign language. I'm the only one out of some of my siblings that have hearing loss, and I'm the only one that knows sign language, so I can adapt and listen and see what deaf people are signing. And I have a special deaf friend that my best friend since I moved from Hawaii to here that we've been together for a long time, and so we always get to share that relationship and the sign language together. So it's just an amazing time together that we get to have every year, every month, whenever we see each other. And yeah, so also I am on autism, on the autistic spectrum. So yeah, that one's a little trickier to navigate in my life, I think, because that was later in my life. But I like to tell you guys about these things, not just because it's the most important thing about my podcast I like to talk about, but also I like to talk about it because I want people to get the norm of it, that people like me are generally nice people, and some people are not genuinely nice. I think it's in any genre. So don't think that there's some rude people in my, especially deaf people or hard of hearing. Yes, they can be very moody too. Don't worry, but I'm one of them. So different, okay? um, yeah, so also I had learning disabilities, so that might have to learn a little different in school. From might have to get more accommodations from a school, from in the class or from on testing. So yeah, so that is about me, and I'm so thankful for everybody being here today on the first podcast of the year. And oh my goodness, it's been a crazy. I think the last time we saw each other was last year on New Year's Eve. So it is in 2024. So we haven't seen each other since 2024. Um, so let's get this started, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year this year in 2025. Does anybody have New Year resolutions? Are you ready to start your New Year resolution this year in 2025? I hope everybody is ready for the New Year's resolution. I know I'm ready to get it started in a new year, a new me. I feel like every year I have to be a new me, but not a new me, but I mean, just I still keep the same things with me, but I think I would like to do a little better in some things. So, got a, I'm in a brand new start of this year. It's been a little rocky at the end of the year. What did I do at New Year's? New Year's, oh my God, I was so happy that I actually watched Disney Lives and they live stream in Disneyland and they had New Year's Eve parties on New Year's Eve. So I felt like I was in Disneyland, but I was at home. And people are getting the coronavirus and people are getting sick with the flu. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I'm being more cautious over the just right now. I'm just being more cautious than ever. And I know that we should always be cautious, but like people have been more outspoken and more I don't need to take the flu shots or I don't need to take because it just doesn't work and da da da. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Um, and yeah, so it was just yeah, I had that. My friend was a little sick too. I didn't get to um, do anything with that. Um, but yeah, and then um, we have some exciting news, and I don't know if I should share it now or on my YouTube channel. Um, Coming up in a few months, but maybe I will talk about it. Um, But yeah, my best friend is having another baby and she had her gender reveal. So that was really exciting to be with the I'm gonna be another uncle. I get another baby. And she's gonna be busier than ever. I know that for sure. She's gonna be a busy woman with those two kids. Cause the father doesn't, I still sometimes get annoyed with him. some things some things get me annoyed still, but I can I can still do it. I can deal with it because I just get the strength of my friend. She's always been there thick and thin. um and yeah, so it's just been a good year so far. Actually, I can't say it's starting the new year was a little struggly, and I was like, but you know what, I'm gonna hop back now. um So yeah, it's been interesting new year so far. Um and that's really it. I think I just wanted to come on here to say happy new year, and we will be doing more podcast episodes this year, and that is another resolution, is that we put one every week. I know we lost some subscribers, but that's okay, because if you're not strong enough, or not strong enough, if you're not meant for here, then you're not meant for here. If you can't have this little sparkly and can't handle the sparkleness of me, nah, just kidding. But thank you to all the people that have been watching my real trash podcast episode. And I know this is a new me, and yes, this is gonna what you're gonna have to get used to as a real trash podcast. But we also will still have YouTube videos all the time too, so don't worry. But I hope that we will see each other maybe on um Mondays. We may see each other on Sundays. So if Sunday or Monday, I like to post. Um, and so don't worry. This year you will see it more often every week, and I'm excited to be able to share more of my life through the year on the podcast episode instead of being on YouTube, because those can take a long time. But we get to share more episodes together this year and continue this year with more of them. And I, that is going to be an amazing thing. And um, is there anything else? I know that Joe Biden had did something really good. President Joe Biden. I know he's almost out of office. Geez, I am so sad that he's going to be gone. But I know that he's done a great job to make sure that Americans are safe. Um, and I know today they just certified Vice President Kamala Harris, just certified the election. And what was so great, I think that we should remember January 6th, 4 years ago, that it wasn't the same transfer of power like we had this year. Um, and when Donald Trump had to toss the baton over to President Biden 4 years ago, it was a big riot in January 6th. And it wasn't very good. It wasn't the peaceful transfer of power. There was a big attack on the Capitol. And I think everybody should remember that. And it comes down to the common decency of democracy. And yeah, and that's a big thing. I like to talk about politics too on my channel, but also I like to talk about other things in my panel too. But yeah, so that is a big thing. And some people say, oh, the economy should come over democracy. And I still think democracy comes over economy because the economy is still running. It's still running. And, look what happened. Something's different with the democracy now because somebody had a tantrum and didn't want to give power to Joe Biden. But this year it was so good, and I will never forget that day. So I hope people remember that, and I hope that we continue this to remember that the transfer of power should be smooth and clear like this. And Vice President Harris also shook hands with senators that she had to swear in that maybe she never liked, but she always had that decency to say hi, hello to everybody, even though nobody liked, some people didn't like her, disagreed with her, but still she shook everybody's hand and got them into office and did what she needed to do to certify everybody's election. And so that was the most admirable thing about her. The most admirable thing about her too, she's a woman, and I think people forget that. And I want to continue to strive and be able to do more, be able to support women in bigger roles like this year too. Also, I also watched some good documentaries. They were movies, kind of documentaries. And the first one was the 6888. I might have talked about that one already. And that one was the Hitler War. And they had nobody sending mail in the European war. And and so nobody was getting mail. And so like, who could do it? And so all Black women did it. And that's why it's called the 888. And they didn't think they could do it in the amount of time, but they did it in the less of the amount of time, really fast. And they were all Black women. And the first Black woman in the European, because they weren't welcomed. And so that was a powerful story. So I hope you see that on Netflix. Also, I watched. I don't want to say her name wrong, but she was the first ever Black woman elected. Her name is, what is it? Shirley Chisholm. Yeah. Shirley Anita Chisholm was an American politician who in 1968 became the first Black woman to be elected to United Congress. Yes, she was, representing the New York 12th Congressional District, a district centered in Bedford, Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, for 7 terms from 1969 to 1983. In 1972, she became the first Black candidate for a majority party nomination for President of the United States and the first woman to run for the Democratic Party's presidential um, nomination. Throughout her career, she was also known for taking a resolute stand against economic, social, and political injustice, as well as being a strong supporter of Black civil rights and women rights. And that was so good. And I hope that people watch this film on Netflix because it was so powerful and moving to be able to watch that film. And that one was just phenomenal. It was just great and made me more confident than I was already confident, but just watching that film and be able to see women take these roles and be able to be stronger than the man. It felt great. It felt awesome to see that, to be able to let them do what they need to do, to have those. And but it kind of in that story kind of gets me mad too because there's some things in there that just were just um men just didn't, and it especially was the white man that white men and was they didn't trust in a woman at all. And I think even especially a black woman, they wouldn't trust her even more. So, yeah, that was crazy too. That was crazy. Also, I also watched. Let me see what else I watched. I watched some other movies. What were they called? What's her name? I need to see if I can find it again. But let me see. Hold up. Sorry, y'all. I don't know if I can find it right now. Hmm. But it was so good. I just wish I had it with me right now. Hmm. Oh, here it is. Madam CJ Walker. I encourage you guys to watch that one too on Netflix. This was another one that was so good to watch. It's like 3 episodes, I think. 3 episodes, 4 episodes, I think. This is another one I loved. I love watching things like this that women have power, and it's just like makes me feel so good to see them succeed and how bad men wanted them to fail. Okay, like that, and just other people wanted. This was just a great one. Madam C.J. Walker, and I hope you watch this on Netflix too. All of these ones were on Netflix I watched. Madam C.J. Walker was born Sarah Breedlove, December 23rd, 1867 to May 25th, 1919. That's how long she was here. Was an American entrepreneur, philanthropist, and political and social activist. She is recorded as the first female self-made millionaire in America in the Guinness Book of World Records. Multiple sources mention that although other women like Mary Ellen Pleasant might have been the first, their wealth is not as well documented. Walker made her fortune by developing and marketing a line of cosmetics and hair care products for Black women through the business she founded, Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. She became known as for her philanthropy and activism. She made financial donations to numerous organizations such as the NCAACP and became a patron of the arts. Villa Leroy Walker Lavish Estates in Ironton, New York, serves as a social gathering place for the African American community. At the time of her death, she was considered the wealthiest African American businesswoman and wealthiest self made Black woman in America. Her name was a version of Mrs. Charles Joseph Walker after her third husband. And this is such a good Um, I loved it, and I hope that everybody watches this. This was so good to watch on Netflix, and just be able to see the legacy of this first self, and she was black, self millionaire. I mean, it's just mind blowing, and how much effort she had to put into this. And yeah, and then there's another movie I watched too that I just finished. And it is called, I'm gonna put it, Maria, and her name is Maria. Um, and let's see, Maria, and this was such good because I love opera. If you know me, my first favorite music is opera, and then it goes into different genres after that. But here we go. I hope that you see this one too, Maria. And it was sad to see some of the things in her life that she had to go through. And it's sad that that's how she had to handle things in her life. But I will explain who she is. And um, yeah, I was just like, wow, this is an amazing story too. Maria is a 2024 biographical theological drama film directed by Pablo Lorraine, written by Stephen Knight, and it's an international co-production between Italy, Germany, and the United States. The film stars Angelina Jolie as the opera singer Maria Callas, and the follows the 7 days before her death in 1977 Paris as she reflects on her life and career. Let's so her name is Maria Callas. That's her name. And so let's get into it. So Maria Callas was born Maria Ann Cecilia Sophia Calagiopoulos, and she's from France. She's from France. December 2nd, 1923 through September 16th, 1977. Was an American and Greek soprano, and one of the most renowned and influential opera singers of the 20th century. Many critics praised her bel canto technique, wide-ranging voice, and dramatic interpretations. Her repertoire ranged from classical opera seria to the bel canto operas of Donizetti, Bellini, and Rossini, and featured to work of Verdi and Puccini, and in her early career to the music dramas of Wagner. Her musical and dramatic talent led to her being hailed as La Divina One. Born in Manhattan and raised in Astoria, Queens, New York City, to Greek immigrant parents, she was raised by an overbearing mother who had wanted a son. Maria received her musical education in Greece at age 13 and later established her career in Italy. Forced to deal with the exigencies of 1940 wartime poverty and with near sightedness that left her nearly blind on stage. She endured struggles and scandals over the course of her career. She underwent a mind career weight loss, which might have contributed to her vocal decline and premature end of her career. The press resulted in publicizing college tempor- temperamental behavior, the Alliance Solace Body rival, in her love affair with Greek shipping tycoon are still honest. Although her dramatic life and personal tragedy have often overshadowed Cloudless, the artist in the popular press, her artistic achievements were such that Leonardo Bernstein called her the Bible of opera, and her influence so enduring that in 2006 Opera News wrote of her nearly 30 years after her death, she is still the definition of the diva as artist, and still one of classical music best-selling vocalists. And I encourage people to watch that on Netflix, Maria Callas, and her story will be remembered. And I love opera, so I will remember that story forever too, as a strong opera woman that on everybody out there. And she went through some struggle, and I'm thinking, but all these women that I watched were just so powerful, and I just would love to watch more documentaries like this. People that have not seen strong, powerful women like this. It's just so cool to see them succeed like that. But also the things they had to go through to get there. But they were all fighters, and I'm very proud to be able to watch these movies and see those women strive. It's just so cool. But yeah, I hope you guys watch those movies. And yeah, that's the update of 2025. So this week, but we will do another episode this week again for since this episode is for this is for January 1st to the 4th. And then we will do another episode. Actually, yeah, January 1st to the 4th, and then we will do another episode this week for the 6th to the 11th. So yeah, so thank you for being here. Thank you for all of my Real Trash podcast followers that have been here, and thank you for all the haters that unsubscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for them. I see others unsubscribing. Please get anybody else to subscribe to my channel, and thank you for all the loyalty that's been here from the beginning of day one. And no matter how many episodes we do, no matter what we're doing on YouTube video or YouTube Reels, thank you for sticking in it. And I thank you so much for being here on this Real Trash episode again. And we will talk more in our next Real Trash episode. And remember, at the end of my episodes, I always talk about, what do I say? Always be yourself. Love you. And I'll see you on the next one. Mahalo. Bye-bye. Bye. See you later. Oh, actually, before I go, because I said I was going to say go, I gotta talk about one more thing. And yeah, let me pick up a story on that one. Actually, no, we'll see each other this week coming up. So, bye. I'll see you on the next episode. And love y'all. Always be yourself. Bye. See you later.